Hey, Gator Nation. Welcome back to the Respect Our Decision podcast. It's November 16th, and this is your boy Hirsch. And with me, as always, is the man Mike.
What's going on?
And the hype man Wes.
What's good? What's good, Gator Nation?
Hey, Gator Nation. We got a lot to talk about today on the recruiting front and as we get ready for the Vanderbilt game. But as always, guys, make sure you go out and download us wherever you get your podcasts from. We're available on all major podcast providers. And make sure you check out our YouTube channel at Respect Our Decision. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like each and every video, leave us a comment. We like reading y'all's comments every week. We appreciate them. And as always, guys, if you'd like to support us as creators, check out our Patreon at Respect Our Decision. Each and every dollar we make out of this podcast, we put right back into the show so we can just keep getting better for you guys. And we want to give a big shout out to our newest patron, Justin Martin. Justin, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And as always, guys, make sure you go give a check out to our sponsor, Camwood Supplements. Visit camwoodsupplements.com for all your workout, post-workout recovery, and greens for your digestive health. Good, clean supplements. Make sure you enter code RESPECT20 to save 20% off your first purchase. And with that being said, guys, we're going to jump right on into it. We got a lot to talk about, like I said at the top. And to start us off, our man Wes is going to hit us up with a Friday night under the lights update as these kids that are future Gators and Gator targets are starting to hit the playoff stretch here in high school football. Wes, what we got?
Appreciate it, Hirsch. As you just stated, a lot of guys are in the play. Well, the majority of high school football is in the playoffs right now, so that's where a lot of our stats are going to come from. So it's limited, and plus we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So we have three guys, and of course, it's only right that we start with our newest commit, our quarterback of the class, Jaden Rashada. He threw for 2 TDs and rushed for another. He only played the first half. His team was already up 35-6 at halftime. So big shout out to our new QB. He had a good night, only playing the first half and had 3 total TDs on the night. Our wide receiver that we are very, very thrilled to have in the class, Eugene Wilson. Hopefully he can take Mike's spot in his heart because, Mike was a big Whitmore fan. Eugene is kind of the same ilk as far as a great athlete. I know we had some concerns about our punt return this season. Hopefully that's a guy we can see back there returning punts next year as he's very, very shifty. So we had Eugene Wilson with 80 catches, 153 yards, and 2 TDs in a win. So big shout out to Eugene, future Gator. And our last one, another guy that, we harp on our DB play and how good our DB class is, and Jakeem Jackson. He had 2 INTs on the night. So that's a guy that Coyle Raymond is very, very high on, somebody that we felt that was underrated when he first committed, and he kept boosting up in the rankings. So big shout out to Jakeem on his 2 INTs on the night. Of course, he does play receiver some too, so a phenomenal athlete and a great addition to the future Gator class for this 23 class. So any one of those guys you guys want to talk about that you like, hopefully Mike can talk about Eugene. I think I can switch him over.
Well, for the record, I was a fan of Blue Chip Creed Whitmore. Once he just opted to mess up our Blue Chip Billy's ratio, he was what dropped accordingly. So I just want to go on the record for that. But no, Eugene Wilson, you can easily debate he's the best wide receiver in class. So, and I'm highly excited to see him in a Gator uniform next year, and just Jaden Rashada just doing Jaden Rashada things. So even if he's not necessarily playing starting next year, it doesn't matter. He's extreme uber talented, and same with Jakeem Jackson. Just like you said it best, just a phenomenal find by the best D-back coach in the country.
Yeah, it was nice. Jaden Rashada, he said, hey, guys, I got to get to Gainesville in the morning, and let's go ahead and get this wrapped up so I can get on out of here. So his team and him. Yeah, man. So him and his team put in work. Eugene Wilson can't – every time this kid has touched the field this year, he had some time off with an injury, but every time he's been on the field, it's pretty much been a performance like this. I see no way that this kid doesn't find a way to touch the field in some capacity next year. He's too good of an athlete, even if it's maybe as a kick returner, punt returner, they're going to find ways to get the ball in this kid's hands. And once again, Jakeem Jackson, arguably cornerback 1 right now in this class. Maybe not in a ranking sense, but I got a feeling talent-wise, he's probably the best pure corner in this class right now. Him and Denson probably fighting that 1A, 1B. A lot of guys' games were shifted around due to the storm, so weren't able to get numbers on a lot of guys, and a lot of guys maybe didn't play this weekend. I know Treon Webb and Trinity will be in the playoffs this weekend, and a lot of other kids, so we'll have the Under the Lights thread going this weekend, maybe on Friday and Saturday, as kids are playing both days. So you'll be sure to check that out. So, guys, with that being said, we're going to move right on into some recruiting updates. And, man, like we kicked it off talking about Rashada in our Raw Reaction episode. Make sure y'all go check that out if you haven't already. We covered the South Carolina game and the Jaden Rashada flip because that was too big not to talk about. And recruiting is white hot right now for the Florida Gators. Recruiting is fun in a way that it has not been fun at the University of Florida in quite some time. Billy Napier and the staff and the Army making tremendous moves. And the top move that was just come out yesterday is that 5-star offensive tackle, Samson Ukanlola, is visiting for a multiple-day visit with his family. And they got into town last night. And word is, so far, they're having a great time on campus. Guys, I got a feeling, this would be the highest ranked offensive lineman we've had since, I believe, Martez Ivy, if we were able to pull this off. This kid is he's been heavily favored in Miami for quite some time. The only other unofficial visit that he's taken was to Miami when they, a few weeks ago, when they got throttled by Florida State. And look, you can say what you will about who the favorite is here, but if he was so heavily favored, I believe he would have already committed by now if that was the case. This kid is looking to be blown away. And it looks like he's got some serious interest in the Gators and what we got to sell. This may be one of those, hey, you get the big-time quarterback and others will follow kind of deal. What y'all want to add to that?
This guy, you said he's the best highest rated tackle since Ivy, and he's better than Ivy because Ivy came from, I want to say, Popka, which is, I want to say they're an option running team, at least at that time, the Popka Blue Daughters. So that being said, Samson Ukanlola is the prototypical left tackle. If you haven't seen any highlights from him, like some camps or anything, or him playing, highly encourage you to check it out. He plays mean. He's a
monster.
He just plays with an attitude that you just can't teach. I would say Barber-esque. My boy. But so they would definitely get along. But he, in my opinion, especially, he's putting on 10 pounds on, and he's day one ready. So he's
got the size.
He's listed on 24/7 as a 6'5", 305. You get him to about 310, and he carries it so well. He's lean. He's but he seems appears to be muscular. He doesn't need time to truly fill out. So if anything, he would need time to gain his grown man strength. But he's just mean. He's athletic, and he's out for blood every snap, and that is just something you can't teach. Not to mention, he would fill obvious potential void, depending on how you look at it, with the Tarquin and Barber situation with Garage leaving.
Wes?
Yeah, just echoing some of the things that you guys already stated. This kid is, I know when you think of big guys, you don't think of athletic, but he's one of those big guys that is a great athlete. That's why he is a 5-star at his size and height. To me, this is one of our fan questions that I'll kind of answer right now that we kind of answered on Sunday about the Jaden Rashada effect. This is the Jaden Rashada effect in it is too, because you have a quarterback and any offensive lineman wants to play and protect a good quarterback. They're usually, especially if you're a left tackle, that's usually the best friend. He protects the blind side of the quarterback. So that helps with getting Jaden Rashada last week, with getting somebody of this caliber. Not saying that we weren't in it before, but this only enhanced that, having the quarterback. Then you have to look at the offensive line and what we've been doing the last couple of weeks, punishing teams running the football. We have the best right guard in college football. That speaks volumes to what the staff has been doing and developing. If he wants to come and be a part of that, I think that we know what Florida brings as far as education and all those factors as well. So we have a lot to offer. We're putting together a great class. You see it on film as far as the run game and with the offensive lineman that we have now. So be a great addition. Mike said it. He can come in and start day one at left tackle in Wheeler's garage. So he will be a big time get.
Yeah, you gotta love the coaching job by Sale and Stapleton. Just gotta love the coaching job of those guys, and also I'll be happy to have him for the 3 years that he's here.
Yeah,
no doubt. They we talked about it. They started slow on the recruiting trail, but boy, when they flipped the switch, they flipped it. We're going to talk about another target here in a minute, but these guys are on full bore right now recruiting. Kudos to them.
Marathon, not a sprint, baby.
You put the product on the field and let it speak for you sometimes. So here's hoping, guys. Let's the pancake honcho, as he likes to call himself, is looking for a IHOP NIL deal. Maybe we can make that happen for him. I'm sure they'd be happy to have. He likes to put pancake honcho on everything. So another big piece of recruiting news that also came out yesterday. We've talked about him many times, and boy, you don't want to be greedy, but DJ Lagway, 2024 5-star quarterback, has announced that he is committing December 7th. You know what? I'll be greedy. Give me every daggum big name quarterback you can get him on campus and let them battle it out and put the best guy out there. We'll figure it out later.
USC did it for about a decade.
Yep. Hey, Georgia stockpiles 5-star, 4-star quarterbacks. Doesn't seem to have a problem keeping them all on campus. Hey, DJ reacted to the Rashada commitment news very positively. Word is it doesn't affect him one way or another. Now here's the thing, and I think you guys will agree with this. When you're a 5-star quarterback and you're being recruited by the top programs in the country, you're going to have 4- and 5-star quarterbacks to compete against everywhere you go. So if you're going to go to those programs, you're going to compete no matter where you go. So you're not going to see these guys get scared off by the Jaden Rashadas of the world or wherever else you may be looking at.
Not to mention it'd be one thing if they took 2 5-stars or high, another high 4 in the same class. But if a kid's scared in a different class, you don't want the kid.
And DJ Lagway ain't that kid.
So,
Wes, what's your thoughts, man? I know you're excited. You are the 24 guy.
Yeah, but I've always said, and I'll say it here now, I will be very, very disappointed if this class in 24 is not top 5. Mike don't really. Maybe Mike is because we're in November, so and getting into
Mike's
December.
Not ready to discuss it yet.
Yeah, I know how he is about the next class, but he should be because December is right around the corner.
Never heard of her.
90 days is about to be here in about a month and a week or so. So maybe he can discuss it now. But as we know, we said this on the last podcast when it was a question about will Rashada scare away DJ Lagway? No. If you look at the Clemsons and like you stated, the Georgias and the Bamas, this is what they do. You recruit these guys. You should not recruit Rashada because you're scared that may push away Lagway. It's not. Every school he's trying to go to already has a guy on staff or on the roster that is that caliber. and I am so happy that we may be able to get this kid. He is the linchpin into what I assume will be that top 5, top 3 class. So hopefully we can get him in here, and I'm glad that he pushed it up because we don't have to wait long.
Mike, any other thoughts before we move on from DJ Lagway?
I'll just, like what Wes has been saying, and just pretty much just said, get your quarterback in, get him in now, let him get the class. Not to mention he has that aura that attracts other kids. I don't care if you're a 5-star player or not, he has that aura that kids want to go play for him. So I mean, you can be Rashad. He seems a little bit more quiet. There's nothing wrong with that. Kids are still wanting to play with him. However, Lagway seems a little different. Just a little more outspoken.
Where's he from, Mike?
From Texas.
Where do good quarterbacks come from?
There's 3 states I want my quarterbacks from: Texas, California, and Georgia.
There you go.
Period.
And we're in play for 2 quarterbacks from 24 from Georgia and Texas.
There you go.
And we got one and we just got one from California.
I don't like too many things from California, but I'll take quarterback.
I really kudos to the staff and everyone involved on the DJ Lagway recruitment. I know it's not over yet. We got a ways to go, but the staff identified DJ Lagway very early, set their sights on him, made sure he knew he was the priority, and never wavered.
I think that's major, what you're saying.
That is major league big boy ball. And kudos to even the students at the University of Florida who got involved when DJ was visiting. I mean, this has been for lack of a better term, a collective effort. I mean, everybody has come together to make sure that if this deal don't get done, it'll be one of the biggest surprises to me. Well, maybe shouldn't say that because, we're not very far removed from Cormani, but they're not the same kinds of kids. And I'm not going to sit here and slight any kid for their decision, but the Lagway family is just is a different breed altogether. They're very serious, upstanding, very serious, have taken this complete process in the most professional manner maybe I've ever seen. Being thankful to everyone involved, videotaping their trips and putting it out there, even time with the coaches, and just been an incredible thing to watch. And if you haven't watched any of those videos, I highly suggest maybe you go on YouTube and search DJ Lagway and watch some of those. Just really neat behind the scenes perspective of recruiting visits.
And real quick, back to what you guys were just saying. Where's Jalen Kidd from?
Where is Jado Kitten from? Is he Texas?
Oh, he's a Texas boy. QB2.
All right, guys. Well, let's that's the major news that's come out here so far this week. Let's talk about some things that happened this past weekend. We had some great visitors in the Swamp this weekend, starting with another offensive lineman, as we were talking about a second ago. We'd get to this guy in a second. Florida State commitment, offensive tackle, 4-star offensive tackle Lucas Simmons was in the Swamp. And, it wasn't long after he left the Swamp that his buddy, Mr. Roderick Kearney, was tweeting out the old sunglass emoji. Now, you take for that what you will, but, man, once again, this offensive line class might be coming together real quick. Now, there's nothing to say that he has committed or is silently committed, but there's a lot of smoke. And I know our boy Mike, he kind of feels like Mr. Atkins over there at Florida State might be looking at some job opportunities that might help us with this.
If he's smart, he is. Well, Lucas Simmons is the best thing to come out of Sweden since ABBA. So and I love me some ABBA. So get me him on campus, and not to mention, we take FSU soul on the trail.
I mean, just absolutely steal.
I'm here to take souls. That's how I feel. I'm here to
Easy,
take somebody's
Undertaker.
soul. Hey, someone's got. He's retired. I'm on
Shang
the trail.
Tsung. Shang
You
Tsung.
take hey,
I'm here to take souls. They
Shang
can't.
digging
Tsung.
holes and taking
They
souls.
they try to spin Kearney. Whatever. Okay. You can't talk around Simmons. What's good about Simmons? He's not ready day one. He does need to be developed. So
Big body, just needs some technique.
yeah,
work.
you're looking best case scenario year 2, most likely year 3, depending on how his body takes on the weight. But end of the day, he's 6'8", 300 pounds.
Just time
And
for your boy Barber to move on down the road.
yeah, so and now it'll work out. But the potential's through the roof with his size. So and
Absolutely.
he hasn't been playing football all that long.
Nope. Wes, any thoughts on Lucas Simmons?
Yeah, I mean, we already took one guy from Florida State. If we're going to take anything from out of that class, it's best to take their offensive lineman from one of their best recruiters because he knows offensive lineman. He's a good recruiter. So, like Mike said, you do the Shang Tsung, and I'm here to take your son, your soul, and get Lucas Simmons. That'll be a big development piece in the future. Hopefully, he can turn out like how his boy Barber turned out. He doesn't have to start day one with what we already have coming back, and especially if we get Sampson in. So I would love to get him added to class. He's a very, very good, potentially. I would, being if I'm thinking future, I'm thinking that we may get Sampson. So I'm leaning 70% towards Sampson. So you get him, he can be your right tackle of the future.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys have got a plan on this, man. I think they're just looking now to just stockpile those trenches like we had heard they were trying to do from the outset of this class.
And before you move on, Hirsch.
Go yeah.
No, sorry. It's just like I said, man. I can't discount it enough. Just when you have the type of recruiters on the offensive line, it's just they just consistently, when Kearney, all right, you're up, and then Simmons, no, I'm gonna go higher. So I mean, I'm just at this point, I'm just going down the list. How high can I go?
Yeah, I mean, it's what it looks like that you're just looking around saying, whose stuff are we about to snatch?
I think Webb had a funny tweet though. I want an offensive lineman just because I can.
He's a savage.
I love it.
And segueing that into the next guy we had visiting, that was kind of a surprise. Ohio State running back commit Mark Fletcher was at the game with some family on a Saturday. And word on the street is he came away very impressed. Another word on the street is that he had skipped out on several visits to Ohio State, that he just doesn't seem very interested in the process, and that he just kind of was like, yeah, I'm not going to make it this week, and has done that a couple of times. And I think Mark Fletcher might be on flip watch for the good guys. At first I was kind of surprised because I didn't think we would be taking another running back this class with Trayon in the class. But then if you look at it, you at this point you're thinking Naquan is gone. We've talked about that. And we suspect Lorenzo Lingard will be gone. That running back room will get thin pretty quick. So this looks to me like a pretty good take here late in the class. Wes, what you think?
One thing I'm not going to, in Mike's words, as far as how he trusts the offensive line and how we trust Corey Raymond and how we trust Colbert, I'm going to trust what they do at running back. They put guys in the NFL. We saw a lot. Well, I don't say we saw. If you watch NFL, you saw Mitchell come back from the 49ers, had a big year last year at running back. And I think even with McCaffrey there, he led the team in rushing the other day. So I'm not going to challenge whoever they take at running back. I'm good. And you just pointed out that our depth might be getting a little thin there. So we can flip Fletcher, being that we only have Etienne and Thompson coming back next year. Johnson coming back next year. And then we kind of have Etienne running kickoffs back. kind of need somebody back there as well. Another back in the class. We always thought we may take a second one if he was of that caliber that we need. So I'm not going to trust the staff. If they want to flip Fletcher and get him in the class, I'm okay with that. He's watch the film. He's a good RB2.
Mike, you're muted.
Rookie move. My apologies. Right now, like Fletcher, I'm in Fort Lauderdale. It's 79 degrees. Pretty darn beautiful. Gainesville, it's 60 degrees. Once again, pretty darn beautiful. It's 29 freaking degrees in Columbus, Ohio. Not to mention, you have to walk amongst Ohioans. And that's a whole nother breed of people. So that's all I got to say. That's a big time get. The nice, Thunder and Lightning with Webb, 260 overall in a composite. Not to mention he's coming from American Heritage, big time school with a lot of talent down there, and just get the roots planted. We already got some roots down in, St. Thomas Aquinas with SAP. So just keep on establishing, get that foothold in South Florida. Even though I was told to coach down south, putting up a fence. So just keep on moving down south. Get the kids who you want. Put a sniper on it and get it done. Flip them. We already got one kid from there. Why not another?
Yeah.
Not to mention, this proves a point to Ohio State. Get out of state. It's not worth it. Move it back to Texas where you were a couple years ago, unless you're Brian Hartline, because it's Brian Hartline.
Yeah. When we start winning some receiver battles with them, then I'll know we're officially arrived.
Yeah, good luck.
Then we're a real national threat when
good luck.
Yeah.
That's all his potential class for next year, and it's not even fair.
Yeah, no doubt. One more big time visitor that was in town, as we mentioned last week, Desmond Ricks, 5-star cornerback out of ING, made the trip for this game as well. Looked like he had a really great time from all that I saw this week. And last weekend, as he came out of his visit, was really sitting around, having a good time with the recruits. This is going to be a battle, man. Desmond Ricks is going to be a battle until the moment he signs. Us, LSU, and Bama. Most think it's us and LSU. A lot of people think LSU is the favorite right now, and they very may well be, but it's not a big-time favorite if so. This is a very tight race, and every trip matters. So it was good to have him in, see a victory, see the defense play well. So Ricks would certainly be a tremendous +1 to this class at this point. We agree on that?
Agree.
And that's another statement piece nationally as well. Like we were saying, 1A, 1B, it take a lot of egg off of our face, and then that you could arguably say that evens the battle with Perkins last year.
Yeah, man, you got to close this one out. I know it's a luxury. I know it's a luxury at this point. But we expected to have Cormani.
What do big time programs get?
Yeah, we need those top 50 recruits.
Luxuries.
Exactly.
Yes.
You don't get I can only get that. No, you get luxuries.
No. And given some of the news we've seen over the last 24, 48 hours, spaces are going to be available. You can just go ahead and keep taking kids in this class, and we'll get to that here a little bit later on in the show. But this class size right now has not many boundaries. So take them all and then figure it out. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for pretty much the big news on recruiting right now. But as I said, Florida recruiting, white hot. News could break at any minute about anything. Wouldn't surprise me. This is going to be a crazy last month leading up to early signing day. It's going to be fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun leading up to early signing day. temper your expectations. Never expect to get everybody. You won't be as disappointed, but there's plenty to feel good about going forward. All right, guys. Well, let's get into a little Vandy talk as the Gators prepare to head north to take over Nashville. Mike, what you got for us on Vanderbilt?
Appreciate it, Hirsch. Yeah, so what Vanderbilt, let's at a glance, they got the head man there is Coach Clark Lee, or Leah, sorry, he's in his second year at his alma mater with a record of 6-16 after going 2-10 last year. I'm actually a big fan of their coach. I think he has a lot of potential, especially being an alum there. This year, they're actually 4-6 overall, going 1-5 in the SEC. Why is that one win big? Well, that ended their 26 game SEC losing streak. That game was last week against the Will Levis, top overall pick and mocked, led Kentucky Wildcats, who, if you listen to the show, is it's not good at football. Good classic 109 yards last week, but that's not the here nor there. Stats don't matter. So that being said, and that is their notable game for the week, their calendar year. But then again, anyone who had Will Levis on their schedule, I would put that again. So that being said, some stats on the team per team rankings. And points per game, they're 81st in the country at 26.4 yards per game. 363 yards per game. Rush yards per game. Going to be 70th in the country at 159.7 pass yards a game, 111th, 209.9 yards per game. Sacks, 8. This is what they're good at. They definitely have a nice pass protection, 18th overall. They only given up 11 sacks on a season. Now for third down conversion, 103rd. At 39.86% clip. Now on defense, 121st at points given up at 35.2. Yards per game, 457.8. That's good for 123rd nationally. Rush yards per game, 164.3. Good for 91st in the country. Pass yards per game, 293.5. Good for 130th in the country. Sacks. Once again, this is something they are good at. Or not good at. My apologies. I got it backwards there. They only have 17 sacks on a season. So about what, halfway of what Brandon Antoine Powell would do by himself. It's neither here nor there. 110th nationally that's what's that good for. And third down percentage, we have 43.41, 111th in the country. So some of the impact players on the team, we have running back Ray Davis, 181 carries for 860 yards and 5 touchdowns. Definitely a solid back there. Wide receiver Will Shepard, 52 receptions for 708 yards and 9 touchdowns. Linebacker Ricky Wright, 46 tackles, 3 picks, and 5 passes defended. And also, you have linebacker Anthony Orgy, 93 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 2 fumble recovery. Yeah, I'm going down with that ship. Now, this is what's big. They had a couple injuries, very notable injury. One very notable injury. One, it's going to be Xavier Castillo and the Bangkok's both offensive linemen. They're going to be out for the year. Now, here's a big one. Their starting quarterback, AJ Swan, is questionable. The coach Lee is playing it close to the best. In our opinion, he's not going to play. What he's getting at is essentially coach speak. He was the starter entering the South Carolina game. He was injured prior to the half and has yet to play since. So he is listed as quote unquote questionable. But on the season, he's thrown for he's thrown for 2 touchdowns, 146 yards against Wake. He recorded 255 passing yards and 4 touchdowns in his collegiate debut versus NIU, and passed for 281 and 2 touchdowns against Ole Miss. And he was on threes, midseason true freshman All-American. So he definitely has some talent there. Now, their probable starter, definitely no slouch. He's definitely a runner. He's a Maxwell Award watch list to open the year. Recorded 6 touchdowns and a career high 245 yards in a win against Elon. Posted 4 touchdowns in a win at Hawaii and 126-yard rushing on 11 carries with a long of 59 for his best.
That was
rushing.
last week. Yeah, last week versus Kentucky. Yeah,
I appreciate that. So yeah, that just sums up the good old Commodores, Harvard to South. Once again, much appreciation for their baseball squad and just keeping up our GPA.
Yeah, man, they do a great job of that, and we appreciate Vandy for all their hard work. Anything else we want to say about Vandy before we move on down the road? I mean, they're Vandy.
They scrap.
Yeah, they're a little more scrappy this year. I haven't.
I like that. I like that coach. I really like that coach.
Talked big at SEC. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, I do.
He talked big, and his team has backed it up with the talent that he has. As far as the team that doesn't give up and will fight, as you saw, they beat Kentucky last week, and we lost to Kentucky. As Mike loves to always throw in my face.
Something I remembered. I watched them when they played Georgia, and of course Georgia trounced them. It was like 55-0. But they're very short on running back help. I believe they have the one guy that the one kid that they have is their big time running back. But behind that, I believe they've got a kid converted over from another position playing running back.
Not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob. But if you've got one true workhorse and a quarterback that can run, hey, yep. UF running quarterbacks, yeesh.
Even though the last one we faced, we did very well.
Yep, got to keep it up. Got to see our boy Marnie Burney doing a little spying this weekend.
That's just another day in the office.
All right, guys, let's move on down to some Gator talk as we get ready for this trip. A few bits of TID. First and foremost, coming out announced yesterday, offensive line / offensive coordinator Rob Sale nominated for the Broyles Award for one of the best assistant coaches in the nation.
What was that?
Yes, you heard what I said. Rob Sale, he got that offensive. He does that offensive coordination. Yeah, great job though this year. Even though our boy Kingsley is continuously on skates, but the offensive line as a whole has played very well this year in comparison to years past. Now something else we alluded to when we were talking about the class. Let's move on to some transfer news. It's been a few guys announced that they were out this week. Starting the beginning of the week, our boy Trent Whittemore announced that he'd be transferring as a senior graduate. This wasn't unexpected. Everyone pretty much saw this one coming. A lot of rumors that he'll follow his brother Creed over to Mississippi State. And hey, the Pirate will probably make good use of Trent Whittemore over there. He probably have a good season if he goes there.
He doesn't drop the ball. I love him.
And he graduated last spring as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going as a graduate, transfer. He's,
hate to see him go.
See him go. He handled it with class. Unlike some, he did not come out. He's not made any derogatory comments. He's never complained publicly. Always been a true professional. Big, wish the kid the best. Hope he goes wherever he goes, whether it be Mississippi State or anywhere else, and balls out next year. I'd love to see it. I'll be keeping track on him. This morning, first of all, defensive line Griffin McDowell announced that he was transferring.
Real quick, I really want to wish him the best. He's done everything the program asked him to do. He started out as an O lineman, switched over to D-line, dropped a ton of weight, got into great shape. He's just not talented enough. And a lot of people wouldn't make that sacrifice, switching that other side of the ball. And it is what it is. But, I do want to wish him the best because he sacrificed a lot for the program.
Agreed.
Yep. nothing but goodwill for that young man as well. And then a bigger piece of information that came out later this afternoon. Everybody's feel good story. Mr. DeJuan Black was dismissed from the team. The reason for not being disclosed at this time. All I can say is DeJuan was given several chances to do right by himself and do what he needed to do. Not everything is related to on the field, guys. Just always remember that. There's other obligations that these young men have to adhere to as part of the program. And Billy said that off the rip. I know everybody was rooting for DeJuan to succeed. Hey, we all wanted him to succeed when he got here, but we can't do it for him. He's got to do his part. Mike, you want to add anything about this? I know you've had thoughts on this for quite a while.
Bye.
Damn.
I want good humans on my football team. I want people that are going to have good character. And you saw what Brenton Cox, and I like how he went out. But you are seeing what selfless players and selfless people with good character, what that does. One player got off the defense, and I'm not even talking about Brenton Cox off the ball. I'm talking about just on the field. And you see at 6 quarters of no points given up, okay, or no touchdowns. So I'm not going to get into the stuff on DeJuan Black out of respect for him, but I am glad he's off this football team. I've wanted this done for years.
All right, Wes, you got any follow-up to that?
Nah.
I'm trying to bite my tongue.
Guys,
Nick.
Yep.
Tight end.
Pardon?
What'd you say?
Nick, tight end. He's transferring.
Yes, and that was going to lead me to my next point, guys. There's already been a few guys announced they're transferring, and then you see this flurry of activity. It's not a surprise after the final home game that you're seeing some of these announcements. There's going to be a lot more, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. Prepare yourself. Don't be shocked. There's going to be kids that leave that don't fit this puzzle. We've talked about the puzzle over and over and over again on this show. Kids have figured out they don't fit this puzzle. It's not right for them.
And some are good kids. It's just
yes, absolutely.
Like, I'll give an example.
Nothing against the kids.
Yeah, like just some. Let's just use the running backs. If hypothetically, Naquan and Lingard, I haven't done bad to say about him, but from pretty much you saw first week his bad scheme fit. Lingard, he needs to be a lead back somewhere. So if you got to go to FCS somewhere, okay, get some tape. Go try your best at the league. And if it's some, I'll just leave it those two. I'm not going to get.
Yeah, but if you saw Lingard go to a USF or a Troy or, a UAB, I don't know their schemes, so I can't say if he fits in those. But it would be a phenomenal opportunity for him to go to one of these schools because he's probably going to be the most talented running back the day he steps on campus. I mean, I don't want to say he will be because who would have thought Montrell Johnson would have been the most talented running back the day he stepped on campus?
Or even like a Jackson State. And also the coach would promise him, worst case, you're splitting reps.
Yeah. And that's what's best for the kid. I mean,
Correct.
You can't ever be mad on a kid for trying to do what's best for him when he only has a short window to make his future. And if you realize within that window, and we'll use Trent Whittemore as an example. Hey, I have 1 year to make all the difference on whether I have an NFL career or I'm using my major, for my career. You can't hate on the kid for saying, look, I gotta go try to make the most of this opportunity because it's not going to happen here. So all I can say is, guys, as these notes come out and these kids declare that they're entering the transfer portal or what have you not, wish them well. Don't say you're a traitor or, let the door hit you on the ass on the way out or any of that stuff. Just wish them well on their way. Be nice about it. Don't give other fan bases material to try to say, oh, look how these crappy Gator fans again. Just be cool about it. It's not. We've always said this. Respect the kid's decision, like we say, man. It's their life. So, with that being said, we're gonna move on to some injury news that dropped right as we took to the air. Kind of a surprise. Xavier Henderson is out this week, as well as Jacavion Fraziers is out again this week.
I think we may have seen the last end of the season.
It seems that way.
I really do. How they described it last week, and it really sucks. But I really think we did.
Well, and if that be the case, heal up, get well, young man. See you in the spring. He's talented as can be. I hope we do everything we can to keep that young man here. Hope he knows he's got a future on this offense. Justin Shorter, friend of the show, back this week though from injury. So that's positive news. And a surprising bit on the depth chart actually is that Marcus Burke is listed as the starter over Douglas this week. I was kind of surprised when I saw that, but hey, I mean, we know Marcus Burke has talent. That's not questionable. But he must be showing something for him to be listed as the starter on the depth chart.
I think they're not mixing and matching the receivers. So Douglas is behind Shorter and Burke is behind Hendo. So I think that's how they're doing it, and they're not mixing and matching. So whoever you're behind, that's where you're going to be.
That could explain it and also limit the amount on the actual kid, which does make sense.
Yeah.
Good point.
So we'll get to see, man. I mean, Vanderbilt has a terrible pass defense. Hey, some of these kids might put up some numbers if our quarterback is, on his road performances, road AR shows up, we might be in for a big day and through the air. Anything of note to y'all on the depth chart and injuries? Anything else y'all like to bring up?
Honestly, I would just say overall, because I've seen throughout this overall, kudos to the strength and conditioning.
It's been a very good season for injuries.
Strength and conditioning, the team, because it's not one person, but a lot of people don't realize. I always like to use the example of the LA Chargers. That team's been injured for a decade, and it sums up and however they're doing the training, but it's just stretching. It goes down to even your diet. There's all these little things that nobody thinks about. Oh, he's injury prone. Well, if 10 people are out year over year, that's not individuals. Now, maybe there's one or two individual injury prone people, but if you see different people every single season, that's a red flag.
Yeah, so we had that
first year. Yeah, I know. And if we had a first year,
must champ.
But if we had there could be an outlier. But it's been steady Eddie. Unless you will be nicked up like with like Torrance. But that's inevitable. It's football, especially in the trenches. So kudos to our strength and conditioning staff. I don't think anyone's ever said it, but we are very fortunate.
Yeah, that's been a knock on wood, a very good thing this year. One other thing of note that I forgot to mention, with Hendo out of the game, Ricky Pearsall will be returning punts and back at kick return with Trevor Etienne this week. So might get to see something exciting when Ricky gets the ball in space. Hopefully we get to see it.
The lanes have been there. I've seen
see.
Yeah, the lanes have been there. You just can't. You don't have that.
Who, Etienne?
No, Hendo. Etienne has broken a couple, but
not for touchdowns. But
he just didn't run 8 yards.
All right. But what are you saying, Herschel?
Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys, we're gonna move on down now to our pick six. We do it every week. And as we hit the pick six, we want to talk about our partnership with Prize Picks, guys. Prize Picks is the new and exciting way to play daily fantasy. We are not playing against other players. You're playing against the spreads available. And what that basically means is, like, if you either choose the over or under against projections, say AR is picked for 50 yards, will he get over 50 yards or under 50 yards? And you can play up to 6 entries. And with our code Respect100, Prize Picks is going to match your first entry up to $100. So if you put in $50, they give you $50. If you put in 25, you get 25. And if you put in 100, you get 100. It's simple, easy to use. I use it myself. It's available in Florida, Georgia, California, 30 states across the United States. Give it a try, guys. I really like it. I think you will too. Very simple. All right, guys, let's hit up the pick six, where we do this every week, where we pick 3 things the Gators need to do to beat their opponent and 3 things we need to avoid. And we start off with the 3 things we need to do to beat Vanderbilt. Wes, hit us up.
Dominate the trenches. I know Mike has talked about his side of the ball with Rob Sale. I'm going to talk about turning the boys. Since Cox has been gone, our D-line, as evidenced by Desmond Watson last week on his Heisman polls that was trending across Twitter, our D-line has been dominating since Cox has left. His boy Powell, my guy Princely, those guys have been doing a number, so we have to continue to dominate the trenches. The offensive line has been doing a good job, with the exception that we kind of want to see more of our center position, but Turner and his boys on the D-line have been doing an excellent job, so we have to continue to dominate the trenches.
Turner.
What?
You said Turner?
Oh, my bad. I apologize. Coach Chaos. I'm thinking.
My Lord.
Coach Chaos. My bad. Because I call him Chaos.
Couldn't be mine.
My bad.
Couldn't be my coaches.
Coach Chaos.
God, I need whatever damn Wes is smoking tonight.
Thanks for catching that, Mike. But Coach Chaos and the boys have been doing what they set out.
Warning in the chat, but my goodness.
My South Carolina boy, Boom, a pack of wild dogs. They have been a pack of wild dogs the last couple of weeks. You saw the thing I have on our Facebook, the video of them getting together. So yeah, shout out to Boone and the boys.
Oh yeah, way to go, Coach Turner.
Yeah.
All right, all right, Mike. What do we need to do to beat Vanderbilt?
AR needs to have a completion percentage above 50%, but I know that's asking a lot.
It's on the road, AR, Mike.
You know what? When you're sub 50 at 47%, I don't have any hope. So I'm hoping for my downfall.
All right.
In the word of T Grizzly, I'll pray for my downfall.
Okay. Mine is keep running the football, man. Why stop? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me 50 more carries this week. Hell, I don't care. Give those boys 100 more yards each. Let them both try to get to 1,000 this year. I know it's a tough stretch, but I like having a competent running game. I'm pretty excited about it.
I think 50 should be the minimum, to be honest.
50 carries a game?
I think that should be the benchmark, absolutely.
Absolutely, the way our offense runs. I mean, and with a running quarterback, seems pretty simple to me. All right, 3 things we need to avoid to beat Vanderbilt. Mike, what do we need to avoid?
If the scrambling quarterback starts like we think he is, we have to avoid breakdown. So we got to QB spy, contain,
gap control.
assignment football, gap control. Don't run past the quarterback. It's not hard to do. It does get you frustrating as a defensive player when you can get upfield. However, you do need to retreat once you hit about three and a half steps and come back into your lane. So once again, responsibility football. Coach Turner has coached them up for 2 staffs now, I believe. So
Coach Turner,
yeah, I said 2 staffs for a reason, but so with that being said, just to like I said, play responsibility football, contain a running quarterback who obviously is talented enough and has proven so. We did it versus Jaden Daniels.
Absolutely. Wes, what do we need to avoid?
One thing the offense has been doing is, I know Naquan had one last week, but that was when the game was out of reaches. We haven't been returning the ball, and that includes AR. We continue when you play an inferior team, which they are an inferior to us. There's no question, no doubt about that. They're an inferior football team to us, talent-wise, skill-wise, coaching-wise. We have the better team, and the way you can let an inferior team stay in the ball game and potentially beat you is by turnovers. So we have to continue our streak. I don't know if we really can call it a streak because of the late fumble by Naquan, but I'm gonna call it a streak because there's no way to get that out of there. But he fumbled the ball, but no fumbles, no INTs. AR is on, I think, like 4 games in a row now with no picks. And I don't think our team really fumbles the ball at all. I don't remember a fumble since Montreal did against Utah. Have we fumbled since then?
We are now.
Because I said it.
Yeah.
you damn read a 5-paragraph essay, Wes.
Have we fumbled the ball? Like, seriously, have we fumbled since Montreal did it?
I don't know. I try not to think about it, man.
Yeah, it's just the same fumble, brother.
All right. It's all picks.
All right. My thing we need to avoid. I hate early football games. We got to avoid a slow start on the road. Same thing we had at A&M. Man, I hate.
It's 11 o'clock too.
Every time we go to Nashville, it seems like we get off the block slow. I need these boys to come out and put up like they did against South Carolina. Give me 3 tutties in the first quarter and let's ride. That's what we need to do. Avoid a slow start. All right, guys. Impact Player of the Week. No AR, no Ventrell. We do it every week. Mike.
Amari Burney.
Love Amari Burney. Who would have thought we'd have been saying how much we love Amari Burney at the beginning of the season?
Not this guy.
No doubt.
But
he's come a long way.
He was Antichrist for about 4 years. So hey, who would have thunk it? But I'm glad I'm extremely proud of the young man. He's done tremendous, and I think he'll get drafted now. Well deserved.
Yes, sir.
So with that, but
my fault.
You're fine. Just bottom line, it goes back to the quarterback that I believe they're going to have. They can't really throw the ball like that, and I think they're going to truly try to run the ball. So it's going to be a front 7 ball game.
Amari going to be in that spy position once again. All right, Wes, who's your Impact Player of the Week?
This kind of makes it more of an impact when the news came out with the depth chart. We had already I had already had my guy in mind in Caleb Douglas. With Shorter coming back, and we know it was a lower extremity injury, he may be on the snap count. So with him maybe being on the snap count, and then you have Marcus Burke over there replacing Hendo. Rick is really the only receiver that we have with experience. So I expect Caleb Douglas, when he gets those snaps for Shorter, being that I'm assuming or thinking when you have those kind of low extremity injuries that you're probably going to be on a snap count, that Caleb Douglas needs to come through and be, as he has the last 2 weeks. He's continued to develop. The kid has looked good. Shout out to KC again in his development with that true freshman. So I expect Caleb Douglas to hope that Caleb Douglas can really make an impact in the passing game.
Mine's the MVP of the offense this season, Montrell Johnson. Montrell Johnson is steady Eddie, man. Every week, just brings it. You might argue that Osiris might be the MVP of the offense, but Montrell puts in those tough carries, man. Love the kid, love his work ethic, love his whole personality. Can't wait to see this kid for one more year at least in Gainesville.
Thanks for going out on a limb there, Hirsch.
Well, I went with Ethan White last week. I think I can afford to go with somebody else.
That's fair.
So, limb that. All right. All right, guys, let's give a score prediction for the week. Wes, what you got? I'm 142 to 5, or I don't know what you got.
You forgot a comma.
I think their running quarterback gives us a little bit of trouble just because that's our bugaboo. So I go with 37-10. And I think they get those late with the younger guys coming in. So I give us 37-10. Seems like we're allergic to getting 40, so I'm gonna go 37-10.
I was gonna say the same thing. Mike, any bugaboos?
That is no, bugaboo free tonight, thank God. And I guess this is the second week in a row. Wes and I have had to change roles. I guess I'm the sunshine pumper, and one, we're not getting a damn touchdown on us again, and two, we're getting a burger. Okay. 43-3, baby.
I love our team. I'll believe it when we score 40. That's when I'll believe we're going to score 40.
AR on the road. You said
could we score 40? Absolutely. We could have scored 40 many times this year. I've got 36-17, only because Vandy always gives us a little bit of a trip up. They don't always come close to beating us, but they just play us tough for about the first 2-3 quarters.
Yeah, even when Trask had that phenomenal year a couple years ago. Weird game.
And it being a noon game on the road, I know we're going to come out a little slow, but still, I mean, it could be a blowout. Absolutely. If these boys come out like they have the last 6 quarters combined, it could be a really good game. But I'm going to be kind of conservative there. All right, guys. I know Wes asked some fans if they had some questions they'd like us to ask on Facebook. So being the pod of the people, we're going to go ahead and try to answer some of those questions for y'all tonight. Wes, hit us up with some of these questions that the good folks asked.
Yeah, I picked a few. Some of you guys' questions we already answered, so I apologize if we didn't do it directly. But we answered some of those already during the podcast on Sunday, as well Monday night, and the ones tonight. So the first one is going to come from, and I apologize if I mess up your name, Dennis Connington. He says, what are the chances of AR returning, in your opinion?
0.1.
I will not apologize, and I say none. I think FSU is his last game as a Gator, as it should be. Not saying anything negative about him. I just think me personally, I don't have any intel on that. I just think his mind is going, and he's in NFL mode right now. Going even based on his quotes, I'm 240 pounds, are going to feel it. Hasn't been talking like that all year, and I think that's more of I need to get to the league and get the money, because he's worst case second, third round pick, absolute worst case being mocked in the first round. He's trending forward right now, so there you go.
Yeah, I know there's 4 or 5 teams that are really seriously looking at him at the first round.
Correct. And they can get that even if he's a second round quarterback. You're getting, like, look at the Eagles right now; they're screwed. What hurts because they don't have the 5th-year option. So even if it's like a Lamar Jackson, trade back up into the first round, you get that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's one of those guys that if he floats past the 20 mark, somebody's trading up.
100% worth it.
Somebody's going to trade back into the first to take that flyer. Somebody probably with a quarterback that they've got under contract for another year or two, that they can park him behind and work out some bad habits and get him to learn the playbook, and then your potential city. All right, Wes, hit us with another one.
All right, second question from Chris Sorley. He wants to know: are we seeing the Gators' identity come into form, offense and defensively?
I'd say as much as possible, given the players. We haven't seen. I mean, less. We've probably seen less than a half of what Billy, Napier's has. I mean, we don't have the talent on the outside. We don't have the offensive lineman to truly run his zone. Ethan White's a good Ethan White's not bad at football. Ethan White's just not a good zone offensive lineman. That's just how it is. He's healthy for once in his life, and he's just not a good zone back. It's like Naquan. We were very thin at receiver. We just can't run half of, if not more, than the plays defensively. We've gotten exponentially better. Why? We got more time for Tony's scheme. You don't go from, oh, this is the worst defense ever, to 6 quarters of them not scoring a touchdown, like in SEC play. So it's right there. So
you're seeing things evolve, definitely. Like Mike said, offensively, you're severely handcuffed still, I believe.
Absolutely.
Because of the players, and I believe even because of AR's development is still very, it hinders what you can do and can't do. He can't. Can he make every pass physically? Yes. Does he make every pass and every read? Absolutely not. And we know that. We've covered that, every week it feels like. I think there's still quite a bit left of that playbook to run. You don't see our tight ends being used almost at all. Passes to the halfbacks, to the running backs, hardly at all. Those plays are in his playbook. So defensively, that's just a steady evolution of players learning the scheme, learning to play within the scheme. Coaches making corrections and adjustments mid-season to whatever they need to do. You're still not seeing a lot of exotic blitzes, I don't feel like. I mean, I think there's a long way to go once they get the talent. I think next year you'll see it'll look a lot different than even it has this year.
I don't think you'll see everything until about year 3 to 4.
No, they've got to get the talent in and then coach them up because it's new players once again coming in and learning it. But I think you've got more of an opportunity to get kids without bad habits into your scheme.
And I also think that's why we harped on, to your question, Chris, we'll see more of what they were just saying as far as offensive defensively. And plus, that's why it was so important to be bowl eligible to get those extra 15 practices in as well.
That's a great point, Wes.
Very good point.
That'd be very, very helpful towards the team as far as building and continue to build the culture that we're seeing now as we continue to go.
Especially with certain players like possibly Shorter or AR not playing, or even like a Garage, which gets the younger guys reps, and you find out, okay,
Last question, we're just going to do 3 tonight. This is from Will Watterson. I don't think just one of us need to answer this question. He says, what is it going to take for our defense to get off the field on 3rd down? We play the softest coverage every time.
Time and growth. I mean, it's just going to, that's not the easiest question just to answer. I mean, obviously, it's going to take making plays. I mean, that's the easy answer. But it's going to take time and getting your players that fit your scheme that can do what you need them to do. I know Mike probably has a better take on this, having played before at a higher level. But,
so there's a couple things, like there's certain coverages you can't run. You're like, okay, why is the corners off? Well, you can't run certain coverages because of another player. So one player indirectly being bad, it being bad would cause you can't run maybe a cover 2, hypothetically, if that person can't play his own or if he's not good. So like it's
Jason Marshall is an example in this.
Yeah, I didn't want to say names, but like, if you have
we've said it on the show.
Yeah, so there's certain schemes you can and cannot run based on your personnel is the bottom line. Okay. But the main thing is you have 6 quarters right now. We have not allowed a touchdown.
That's where I was going to go.
So I don't know how that is just like it explains itself. So let the man do what the man's doing with the crappy personnel. That's not up to the Florida State. No, I'm not trying to be.
I'm just laughing because that you going exactly where I was going to go.
Yeah,
we haven't allowed a touchdown in like other than the special team touchdown in 6 quarters. So we haven't stopped South Carolina on third down conversion, and we
We've
have
done
stopped
much better.
them on third.
South Carolina
Yes.
6-3.
But here's the thing, and we're still 129th in the country in third down.
So I get where his question is coming from. Just like Tony,
It's not a bad question, but
just like the players have to learn Tony's system. Tony's learning the players as well. So this is not, he's learning what they can and cannot do in ball games as he said, because Dean has played a lot better for some odd reason.
They moved him
better. I haven't seen him out of place in a while.
And at the same time, like you said,
they moved him to free safety
and moved Torrance.
Yep.
Okay.
You also, what's a coach? Does a coach want to sacrifice a little for one season, or more stay to his long-term blueprint?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
something we're never gonna know. May know in a decade. But if you want to, what do you want to look at? Okay, a short term when we maybe beat Kentucky, but that sacrifices this, or like we adhere to the guys that'll be gone next year, or do you want to just more play 80-90% of what we're gonna always play for? Billy's tenure?
I'm where you at, Mark.
And I'm honestly, guess what? We're gonna win 6 or 10 games. We're not gonna win a natty. I don't give a flying.
And it goes back to something I said earlier in the year, and I was wrong about, and I will definitely be the first one to admit I was wrong in saying this when I said we needed to play the kids more. That was an emotional reaction more than it was a thought out reaction, because you definitely would have put those kids out there and blown up their confidence early. I think you would have.
Of that.
Yes, you would have seen some of these kids get down on themselves and possibly even leave.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens all the time. You put them in a bad situation where they can't succeed. The coaches know, like, Mike said it before, the coaches know what they see in practice.
Yeah.
And that's
and they know what they know of the playbook.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, Hirsch. That was I'm glad you told me that. I didn't pay attention to that. I didn't know that Torrance and Dean switch position. And that
somebody pointed it out to me that ever since they flipped them, that Dean has played a lot better.
Okay.
Now, if you go back and watch, say, the play that he got the fumble recovery in the last game, he was burned.
It happens to everybody.
But he was in position because he was burned to get the fumble recovery.
He forced. That's called trusting your teammates, Hirsch.
Absolutely. Yes, that's what that's called. He knew Kamari was more talented and was going to make that play.
I'm glad you're aware.
All right, guys. We appreciate your questions. We're going to try to do this more often. Like I said, we want to be a pod of the people. Answer these questions. This guy right here, he just, Mike doesn't like the people. You'll have to excuse him. He's not the people's champ.
I'm retired.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to do some weekly pick'ems now. And, oh boy, speaking of Mike, my God.
Say it.
The boy Mike is catching up fast with an 8-2 week. Your boy Hirsch went 6-4, and well, Mike's our man Wes mailed in his picks. I will say Wes mailed in his picks before the deadline. Got him in at about 11:45, right before kickoff there last week. Mike Wes went 5-5. Yeah, not a lot of thought. Had an extra day of prep and still went 5-5.
And still picked Arkansas.
Yeah. So currently on the season, Hirsch 72-34. Mike closing the gap fast at 69-37. And our boy Wes is down there at 65-41. Woo-wee. All right. Well, slate of games this week, not real promising, but we're going to pick them just the same. And we're going to start off with our favorite team on this show, the TCU Horned Dogs at Baylor. Mike, say it.
I hate to do this, man. I really do.
Uh-oh. Is Cinderella's bubble about to burst?
But as every year, a couple of things always happen. The Pac-12 and the Big 12 just flat out played themselves out of the playoff. What happened last week? Pac-12 playing themselves out of the playoff. what's going to happen this week? Baylor going to upset the Horned Frogs and cancel out the Big 12 bad playoff. I got Baylor.
Pac-12 still
way.
Pardon?
I'm just saying the USC still there for Pac-12.
Sure about that?
They got to do some work. We'll get to them in a minute. Or we will. We'll get to them in a second. You go ahead and pick this game though, Wes.
TCU.
Yeah, man, I love some TCU. I picked against them once this year, and I got burned. Not doing it again. Horn Dogs. All right, this pick's on here for comical purposes. I know our fan base will love this part. So, Miami at Clemson. We said we weren't picking Miami till they beat somebody, and they really got off the old schneid last week. Our boy Corey Brown had a great game against the Ramblin' Wreck up in Atlanta. Wes, who you got?
In the words of the late great Kobe Bean Bryant, easy money. Clemson. Easy money.
You mind if I ask a question prior to my pick?
Yeah, ask that question.
Are we spotting? Are we giving
no,
Miami
this is
points?
This is a straight pick.
Just out of historical respect, I'm gonna go with a old Clemson Miami game, and I'm gonna give a score prediction as well, if you don't mind.
We got it.
October 24, 2015. Al Golden's final game, 58-0.
Ooh, 58-0.
Oh,
Mike, yeah. I wrote it down. Let me tell you something right now.
It's gonna be about to
Clemson's defensive line ain't Georgia Tech's defensive line. They better buckle some damn chin straps up, because I don't care what DJ Onomatopoeia does. Clemson's gonna bust these boys in the mouth. I don't know what the score is gonna be, but it ain't gonna be pretty.
And Will Shipley.
Yeah, Will Shipley is the key. All right, Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. Wee-wee.
Could be a
Things
bloodbath.
have gotten pretty ugly out there in Norman.
I love it.
What you think, Mike?
I think one school has a UCF quarterback and the other doesn't. So I'm going to go at OK State. Go Pokes.
He's a man, damn it.
He's about 50.
Hit us up, Wes.
Going with Gundy and the boys.
Yeah, there's a part of me that really wants to say, you know what, Oklahoma pulls a shocker here. But then I thought, nah, they're not doing it. Give me Oklahoma State, because Barry Sanders is my favorite running back of all time. That's the only, motivation I need. All right, now we said we'd get to USC, and here we are. A game that at the beginning of the year I would have told you wouldn't be that interesting. But USC at UCLA, a game that used to actually be fun, is fun again. Maybe. Wes, who you got?
I am going to go
To sleep?
Scares me, man. I'm gonna go with the Trojans.
All right, Mike.
I got to go with the combo.
The combo.
Chip Kelly and DTR. Take me home. Pause.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. UCLA home game looks like a kind of an excited, bloated Miami home game. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Trojans on this one. Staying in the Pac-12, our boys from Utah travel to Oregon to play the Bo Nix and the Ducks. Mike, can Bo Nix-led football team get it done?
Bo Nix playing? Whatever. Give me Utah.
Utah for Mike.
I think they could. I think the teams are going to have a. I think they're still pissed at the coach for pulling a crystal ball, costing them that ball game. Not great,
Wes?
Lanning. Not great.
Wes.
Yeah,
Oh, my fault.
I'm going with Bo Nix.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. My God.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Utah because I need our strength of schedule to continue to look fantastic. So, guys, before we get on with our next pick, I got a little bit of breaking news. Mark Fletcher just decommitted from Ohio State.
Woo! Let's go, baby.
That's what you tune in for, live
Let's
breaking
go.
news. Yeah, we sound terrible. All right. Well then, be on standby, ladies and gentlemen. Could be some good news coming down the pipe soon. All right, boys. Going to the ACC for a real thriller here, but you know what? This game will probably be pretty good. Duke at Pitt. Duke 7-3 on the season.
It's Dan Elko, right?
Yeah. Wes. Oh, it's Wes's turn. The Dukies and Pitt.
Pitt is at home, correct? So I'm going with Pitt.
All right. Wes with Pitt. Go ahead, Mike.
I love Duke. Friendly reminder, Coach Turner was a potential DC hire. Or was the actual DC when we took him to be our D-line coach. But I will go with Pitt. Love the running back. I'm a fan of Slovis from USC transfer.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I like Slovis. He's a good quarterback.
And that running back's a monster.
If Slovis would have finished the game against Tennessee, I think Pitt wins that game.
I won't get it.
And who knows what happens in this season. But I digress. It is what it is. That's what makes college football season what it is. Man, as we really fight, I'm going with Pitt as well, as if I didn't notice that. Man, I'm telling you, we're fighting for good games here. Illinois at Michigan. Illinois 7-3 on the season.
I like what old boy's been doing down there. But he lost last week.
What, not scoring points?
I mean, have you known when last time Illinois has been 7-3? So I'm gonna go with Michigan though. He had that upset loss last week down there. So the Illini, if they had won last week, I probably would have been more inclined to maybe dig a little bit deeper. But I'm going with Harbaugh and khaki pants.
I just picked this so you would say khaki pants again.
Yep, khaki pants.
Hit us up, Mike.
Some say slacks.
Is it business casual?
But I digress. Call me old fashioned. I'm gonna go with Michigan.
All right, the guy that wears the same kind of pants that Mike wears shorts.
Hey, you know what? Listen, I gotta keep the fans happy, my man. Gotta keep the fans happy.
Guys, those of you that watch on our YouTube channel, keep leaving the comments about Mike's shorts. We love them. We read them every week. Me and Wes get a good laugh. And Mike knows that he's pleasing that y'all are checking out his stuff. So
Pause.
Oh, God.
Gotta keep the fans happy.
All right. Texas at Kansas.
Texas.
Oh, okay. Well, go right ahead,
Oh,
Wes.
Was it my turn? It was my turn,
Yeah,
right?
Hey, no. Please pick that team.
Texas.
Go with it, Mike. I know where you're going.
This man's picking Texas in November. What? Have you seen that bum at quarterback?
Say it.
They're burning his jersey. I'm not even making a joke. If he lose, he's cutting off his mullet. All right, give me the Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Woo!
That's what I was waiting on right there. Golly, fired up.
You working my that's an echo too much.
The Fighting Danny Mannings, baby. Come on. Let's go, Kansas. I'm taking Kansas too.
Give me.
Got to make up some ground.
Kansas having a great season, man. For Kansas, I'm liking what they got going on out there. All right, now I'm about to really put Dan West in the corner. Woo.
No, you're not.
Ole Miss at Arkansas.
Give me Ole Miss.
Mike, no. Oh,
my
no.
bad.
Look at you, man, stealing all the picks. All right. Ole Miss for West. He finally got off.
Sam Pittman. I'm off the bandwagon.
He's off the Arkansas bandwagon. You may not have known it, but West picked Arkansas to finish second in the West.
I did.
I remember my first beer.
Hit us.
I can go with Joey Freshwater.
Man, Ole Miss was so close to beating Bama. I hope Wayne comes out firing on all cylinders and just, that team's close, man. That team is really close.
Yeah, they got two more games of old Lane, so
yeah, they're real close to getting Lane a big pay raise.
Yes.
All right,
they better cherish them.
Final game of two teams that have gone kind of south real quick here at the end of the season. Syracuse at Wake Forest. Mike,
this is truly a pick 'em. So
it really is.
I'm gonna go
coin
with
flip game.
I gotta go with the state that has cookout.
Wake
Give me
Forest.
Wake.
Wake Forest.
Gotta go Wake.
Wes?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sam Hartman and the home team.
Man, I don't know if that's much of a home field advantage. Wake. All the doctors are out there. Future doctors.
Engineers.
It's a long flight for Syracuse.
I don't know, man. A lot of rumors that Hartman might be on his way out of town. But yeah, Syracuse fell off fast.
Yeah, let me down,
man. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Wake, mainly because I got to keep pace with Mike.
Make a dream. Yep.
All right, guys. Been another great episode. Broke some news here late. Man, I'm telling you what, Ohio State, get in the closet, Ryan Day. Whew, we just they had one running back commit, and we're about to go snatch their stuff. But Miami fans think they're coming down. He's coming down there. So what do I know? Miami fans are really dialed in right now. They know what's happening. I'm sure our boy Mario will be sending out some more copy pasta for his recruits here shortly. Jesus. Guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in once again and dealing with our foolishness and silliness. We try to keep it fresh for y'all every week. Anything y'all want to add?
Just go Gators. I'm good.
Go Gators, and Bateman got us.
Bateman got us until he don't got us. Maybe that'll be soon. I don't know. Guys, as always, make sure you go download the episode. We're available wherever you get your podcast from. And check out the YouTube channel. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That helps us a great deal. Like every video, leave a comment, and make sure if you'd like to support us as creators, you hit us up on our Patreon. Every dollar we make, we put right back in the show. We appreciate y'all and everything you do for us and just giving us your time each and every week. And with that being said, I'm going to throw it to Wes so he can send us home. Wes.
Yeah, appreciate it, Hurst. Sorry, guys, I wasn't here last Thursday, and I didn't say this on Monday. But as we know, Veterans Day was last Friday, so salute to our troops. Thank you all who listen to our podcast for your service, if you are a veteran or if you're active duty as well. So just to all of you guys, thank you for your service. And again, if you are a veteran yourself or know someone as a veteran and you have questions about anything as far as disability once you get out, please hit us up and we'll answer those questions. Again, salute to our troops and thank you guys for your service, and go Gators.
Go Gators. Till next week, guys. Peace.
Peace.